Stay away from the beginning of what experts are calling the trial of the century. The trial of Alex Murdaugh officially begins this week with jury selection kicking off tomorrow. Our Kennedy Buck explains what goes into selecting a jury for such a big case in such a small town. And Kennedy, there are still some questions on how everything will play out.
That's right, Natalie. The Murdaugh name holds so much weight in the town of Walterboro. So how do you select a jury that has not been overexposed to this case? And then there's the question of what evidence will be allowed in court. Former State Attorney General Charlie Condon says all this will determine exactly which direction the trial ends up going in.
Trial of the century. This week, state prosecutors and Alex Murdaugh's legal team will finally work to answer the long-awaited question: did Murdaugh shoot and kill his wife and youngest son? But before the trial starts, another important factor must be addressed: the jury selection.
Everyone there is going to know something about this, but that's not the legal test. The legal test is going to be, can you be fair? And my suspicions are this might go faster than one would think.
Former State Attorney General Charlie Condon believes questioning during this selection will be limited, which may bring challenges to both sides.
To have their challenges, the state will get 5 and the defense will get 10, so that's 15. You got 12 on top of that. You've got, they'll probably have 2 or 3 alternates with 3 strikes to each alternate, I believe 2 and 1 for the defense and 1 for the state. So you add those numbers up, you really don't need to get to but, what would that be, 30 or 40 people. So let's see how this goes, but it wouldn't surprise me if they can get a jury panel qualified within a day or 2.
Then before opening statements, another thing that has to be addressed is what evidence will be allowed.
So we know blood spatter evidence is being challenged. We know something about the cell phone evidence. We know something about the alibi evidence and the timeline on this. So I'm assuming that there are back and forth within the office internally on how we're going to present this and what the defense challenges are going to be.
Condon says what's allowed could change the course of the trial.
One key bit of information we don't have is the judge's ruling on the effort by the state to introduce motive evidence of all these financial crimes. If that's allowed in, to me, that would really extend this trial potentially by many, many days.
But whichever direction the trial ends up going in, Condon believes all eyes will be on the courthouse awaiting the decision.
Trial of the century may be understating this one. It could be really the most notorious, infamous trial that we may have ever had in South Carolina. We'll just have to see how this case goes.
We will have a team bringing you full coverage of the trial starting tomorrow. So make sure to tune in on air and online as updates come in. Working for you, Kennedy Buck, ABC News 4.
Now, Murdaugh's legal team did release a statement this afternoon stating they will not release statements on anything that unfolds at trial. Murdaugh's team went on to say in part, quote, Alec looks forward to this opportunity to clear his name of these heinous charges so that the Attorney General can finally begin looking for the actual killer or killers of Alec's beloved wife and son.